Hey there, savvy home buyers and sellers. This is Jeff O'Leary, the Village Guru, and in today's episode, I'm being interviewed by past clients of mine who are YouTube vloggers who relocated into the area from outside the country. This is an excellent episode if you want to see me, unscripted, being asked questions about buying a home and the process and what you can look forward to if you're a buyer, and especially if you're relocating from a new place. You're not going to want to miss this episode. Let's go!
All right. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to our channel. So today we have the realtor with us who's made this dream possible for us of buying our first house in Canada. And we want to introduce you to him. So this is Jeff O'Leary, who also goes by the name of the Village Guru. And he has a YouTube channel. So that's a major bonus for all of us. So I'll add the link in my description so you can go to his channel and, subscribe and ask him any more questions. But without further ado, Jeff, hi. Do you want to introduce yourself or give us a little bit of you?
Sure. Thank you, Sapna. My name is Jeff O'Leary. I think you did a great introduction. And yes, I'm a real estate broker in Mississauga and Toronto. Been doing it for a number of years, I believe going on 14 years in the business. And one of the things, how I got started was I started creating a website based on what it would be like to live in different areas. And that's how I kind of came up with the name, The Village Guru, and started doing videos and really explaining the lifestyle. Because I really think that when you go and buy a place, everybody can use their phone and they can search, but you don't know if it's going to be something that's good for you, and what's good for you might not be good for somebody else. So I really started to do that, and it really caught on. I mean, I basically work with buyers from all over the world. You name the country. There's a good chance I've worked with them over the years. And I felt it's really helped people, especially coming to Canada, because they don't know a lot, right? And as you guys have found out, it's not necessarily what you thought before you came, right? Like every area is different, and it's good. But we've done a lot, myself and my team, with buyers just like you, and you guys were great to work with. I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad that you enjoy the place and everything's going so well for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, thank you for that. So basically, what we want to get into is, as you knew when you met us, we were first-time home buyers in the country who had recently gotten into the country as well, right? So we had no idea whatsoever about what the location would be or what even we wanted at that point. We just came with you with a number and we said, this is what we can afford. And then we started the whole discovery process. We had that call with you, the first thing. And so we just want to ask you, what are the basic steps that you think a first-time home buyer should do before even starting to look for a realtor or a real estate agent or a mortgage broker?
Okay. So, I mean, the first thing, again, I do this with my clients. I did it with you guys. But if someone was going to start, if you're buying it with your partner, your husband, wife, or whoever it is, the first thing is to have a real honest discussion about what both of you want. And what I find, hey, it happens with me, right? Like my wife and I are all on the same page 95% of the time, but we're different people, right? So it's about having the courage to say, I would like this. And then the other side saying, I'd like this. Then you sit down together and see, do they line up? Maybe there's a little bit of compromise, but basically you want to come out with an idea of what you would like. So number one, what you'd like in the home. And number two, what you would like your life to look like. Right. And that truly is important. So a lot of people will look for a condo or they'll look for a house, but they might not think of things like, how long does it take me to drive to work? Or I'm an outdoor person, I'd like parks and trails. And maybe someone else is, I want to live in the city and be able to go to the movies and the nightclubs. So it's about that. That would be the first step. And then after that, obviously is where you're probably going to want to, because it's easy. It's tempting to just start searching. But number one, you're going to have to find out how much, whether, you have to know how much you can afford to buy. So that, and with most people involves either talking to a bank or a mortgage broker. I mean, some people do have the cash. So if so, then great. And then obviously depending where you want to go, I think at that point you contacted me, and that's where most people start to get serious, and they'll contact a realtor to interview them, find out more, find out, what they're looking at or how well they can work together. So that would be the initial steps. Other things I always recommend to people, if they have the time or they're familiar with the area, is to start driving around these neighborhoods that they might want to live in and see it for themselves. Like, don't just go to look at a place, like literally go hang out, maybe get a coffee and just really learn about it, because you'll learn a lot by just kind of looking and watching and seeing what's going on.
Yeah, like I really agree to this point, but I also want to say, like when we were with you on most of the time when we are looking to the new places. So when we are new to the country, we really don't know, like as most of the time you were also telling me, okay, this is the right place for you guys, or this is the place which you should be looking for. So how do you find out that this is the place is best for us, like best for anybody?
So and then I'm sure you'll remember, so when you first contacted me, we had a quick phone call, and I sent you a survey, and I asked you both to do it. And that survey pulls those answers out of you. Okay. So when I work with anybody, first thing is I get a little bit of information, and I always say, okay, I'm going to send you a survey. It goes right to your phone. It takes 10 minutes. You fill it out. It comes back to me. When it comes back to me, I can sit down and take a look at it based on what I think your life's like and talking to you. And then we put together different options. So I remember there was a number of different options. You live in the Square One area, but we also identified possibly Oakville, Burlington, Erin Mills. So we had about 4 different neighborhoods.
Yeah.
When you're working, our job obviously is to know how to do the paperwork, negotiate that, but it's also to help narrow down our clients, right? So I ask a lot of questions on purpose, because again, what's good for you is not necessarily good for somebody else, but I'll explain it to you. And it's just an experience thing. It's about working with people, but that's exactly what I did with you. And that's how I would do it with anybody.
Also, I just want to tell everybody that, we didn't have a car back then, and we don't do right now. And, Jeff has been so good and so helpful to actually drive us around all of those neighborhoods. So thank you for that.
Sure. It was great. I don't get to drive too many people anymore. So it was nice. It's great.
Let's move on to next question, Jeff. So one of the viewer also asked, like, does buyer have to pay anything to a realtor? Like, if you're a buyer, do you have to pay anything to a realtor?
So that's a really good question. And it's a question I'm going to give you the short answer, and then I'll give you a little bit of the longer answer. The short answer is, generally speaking, no. Okay. The long answer, okay, and I'll add to that. In my 14 years, a buyer's never paid anything for me. But there is a possibility that someone would have to pay. And this is not, I believe, one of the things that most realtors do not explain to home buyers. See, when you work with a realtor, there is a spot that says the real estate company, so not the realtor, is entitled to be paid a commission in order to do a job for you. Okay. Now, normally, almost 99.9% of the time, the seller is paying a commission to their realtor, who in turn pays a commission to your buyer's agent. That's why you'll hear people say they never pay, and they don't generally. However, there are circumstances where maybe there's no commission being paid, or it might be a private sale. In that case, your realtor needs to let you know ahead of time what's going on. It's your choice. See, ultimately, it's this. When you hire someone like me, it's my job to show you any and all properties that might be a good fit for you, not any properties that pay my company a commission.
Right.
It's what works for you. Now, this is where somebody with skill and someone who's good at doing their job can say, okay, guys, I found the perfect place for you. Unfortunately, the person's not paying a commission. How would you like to proceed with this? We can work something out. You can pay me, and in turn, we can try and buy the place for lower. There's always an issue. The biggest thing with a realtor is clear communication with their clients, making them feel comfortable, not just speeding through the process. So I'm sorry that's a long one, but that's one of the things I love explaining to people. But yes, generally speaking, you're not paying a commission. I wouldn't worry about it. Just have the conversation ahead of time.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So, so another question, like this is a good point. I think what you said. So, what are the things like if someone is coming to you and or it might be in some other part of Canada and they're going to a realtor or finding in the process of finding a realtor. So, what do you think they should ask a realtor? Like this is, I think, the one of the good questions that you said that if there are any fees involved for buying.
Questions to ask a realtor. So if I was looking for a realtor, I give them a call. Well, number one, I would Google them. I would go online and I would search them and see what's out there about them. Do they have a website? Do they have social media? Are they active? You can find out a lot by people just by doing a little research. I mean, so that would be number one. Then I would probably select one or two or whatever it is, and I would reach out to them, right? I may call them, or I may, if they say you can text me or message me, I'd send them a message that way and see, do they get back to me? Are they responsive? Then what I would look for is, honestly, I would be asking questions. Obviously they'll ask you questions, but then I would ask them to explain the process to me. How does it work? Make sure that they're very upfront. How do I have to pay you? Ask those tough questions, and if they answer like I did, you're probably good. If they say nope, you never have to pay, don't worry about it. Well, I just told you there are circumstances.
I think that's the good point there, because we also remember then when we first contacted you, I think the first thing that really impressed us is the clear communication from your side, and especially when we were so confused about a lot of things. But you're kind of guiding us, so I think that made our mind so very clear. So we don't have to go to the different. I think you are the only one we worked with, and then we found a great house with.
And I think the other thing is you also want to know whether that person has enough experience in the area that you're searching, right? So we knew that you were there in the market in the GTA for quite a long time, and you knew the areas and the neighborhoods. So kind of gave us calm
good
mind.
insights.
Exactly. I guess the last thing to say is, if you're talking to someone like a realtor, you'll get the feeling if their first priority is to help you. See, we get paid, right? But there's two ways to look at it. Someone can be like, I just want to get this sale done, which is the wrong way to work at it. Versus, I'm going to take the time, explain to you, spend all this time ahead of time before we even go and look at a home, because I'd rather you be happy, which in turn ends up making me more successful. So it's a number of combinations. Some people say you should ask how many years you've been in the business, and you're more than happy to do that also. But it's really, to me, a gut feeling and a lot of research is what I would say.
Okay.
Yeah. So thanks for that. Like move on to next question. So there's one of the guy who also asked, like, how's the market right now? Is there a best time, like a price wise, to buy a house in Canada?
Oh, that is always a good question. I will say, first of all, that timing the real estate market is pretty much impossible. Okay, because it does go up and down, and even I don't have a crystal ball. So to answer quickly, the market in Canada has been quite robust for the last number of years. And especially when COVID hit, there was a little bit of a lull, and then it started to go up again. And that's not just in Canada. I think that's in the US. It's all over the place right now. People are trying to buy bigger spaces. COVID changed the world. And we're spending a lot more time in our homes. Therefore, it's becoming more of a priority.
Yeah, I think that's a good answer.
So would you say the right time is now, or whenever you're ready?
Yes. Sorry, and I didn't answer that. Yes. If you're ready, the right time is now. If you have to go borrow money off your parents and your cousin and pray to God that the money comes in to buy because you're going to miss out, it's not the right time. Okay. The other right time is, are you comfortable living in this home for 3 to 4 to 5 years? Because if you think you might be moving in 8 months, you might end up losing money because so there's a number of factors. Number one, are you ready? Now, to put people at ease, there's no wrong time. It's just, if it's right for you, you're good to go. And then over time, you'll see the appreciation.
Okay, so let's move on to next question.
Yeah.
And I think the next one, the guy has asked, if you're a first-time home buyer, do you really have to care about the market crash? Like, I think from where this questions comes from, like I heard from a lot of forums and groups, like people are still waiting from years that the market will crash in Canada or something. I think the guy probably means that if he has, like, someone has to wait for a market crash. And if you're a first-time home buyer, do you really care about this fact? Like if it crashed, like if we bought this house, I think with you in this year, right, which is like peak of the market. So we didn't really care. So what are your opinion on this?
Well, I'll tell you this. I bought my first home in 2004 or 5, and people were telling me the market was going to crash then. Here's the thing. The market goes in cycles, okay? But if you buy into the market, you're now in. Remember, this is not a stock. A house isn't a stock where you watch the ticker go up and down and sell it. You live in this place.
Right.
So there's two ways of appreciation. Number one is by paying down your debt. And then number two is price appreciation and growth. Now, I always tell people this. You've bought into the market. Obviously, it's very emotional. And then you read the news. You're like, oh my God, it could crash. But I always take this example. Say you buy a condo for $600,000 and the market goes down 10%. Oh, that sucks. Everybody just lost. So you lost $60,000. It's now worth $540,000. Doesn't feel good. However, as a first-time buyer or a young person, I'm going to be calling you going, I think you should buy something bigger, because remember, that bigger house just went down 10%. So you actually are making money while the market's going down. Now, we haven't seen that go down, and I still don't think that's the case. But even if it does, remember, unless you're literally selling the house and taking the cash, it's the only time you lose. You just buy something else. Yeah. And then it tends to go back up again.
Wow, that's a really good perspective. I think that's a really good point by you, Jeff. And I think the guy, whoever asked this, I also suggest you to watch, Jeff's channel, because I think Jeff also make the analysis like on month or sometimes during the time, like how it goes on. So you'll probably get more idea. So yeah, another question for you is also related to the current time. So someone asked, how has the COVID-19 impacted the local market in Canada?
The real estate market?
Yeah.
We had when it first started and we, everybody really didn't know what was going on. It slowed the market down for a while. It didn't slow down as in it froze, like literally just nobody did anything. The sales dropped. And then it started to go up and up and up and up and up. And like I said, it actually made real estate even more in demand and more hotter. And what we're noticing are people, at least for the first part of COVID, were leaving the city and going farther and farther out in the suburbs, which caused the prices in the suburbs to go up faster than the city of Toronto. Now we're starting to see a bit of a pullback because people are realizing that hopefully we're getting near to some. So they're starting to go back into the city. So now you're kind of seeing a balance again where there's not such a difference between the country and the suburbs versus the city.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's great. So this question is, I put this one. So I just want to ask, like, what do you expect from a client to guide them best possible way? Like in terms of like what should I make their mind, like in terms of budget, type or something, like something, if you're new to like a first time home buyer, sometimes like things are not clear in your mind. So what, as a realtor, what do you expect from a client that, okay, to guide them best possible way?
Open and honest. As long as they're honest with me, then I mean, if someone doesn't tell me the whole story, it's like going to your doctor and you have a heart pain but you don't tell them they have a heart pain. They're not going to guess it, right? They're not going to give you the test you need unless you say, I have a pain. So, those questions, right? It's about answering the questions. It's if a client tells me I can qualify for 700,000, then that's what the house. And then, oh wait, I can afford $1 million, and I wanted it. I'm like, I didn't look at it because you didn't communicate that to me. So yeah, it's about that. This is why it's so important when you find a realtor to trust. You got to have that trust base, and then once I know the information in there, where we have a good communication, then yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I think that's all what we got most at like this time. Do you have something else?
No, I just want to make sure that, everybody who's watching knows. So Jeff, if they want to get in touch with you, to, talk about their own houses, maybe to sell or to buy. So how
Yes.
do they do that?
The easiest way is they can email me, jeff@thevillageguru.com. They can Google thevillageguru.com. You can put my contact information
Yes.
if you want in the trailer of this video. They can send me a text. I'm pretty easy to find. I'm all over online. You'll find me. And I'm happy to. Yeah, you can set up a time and we can have a chat and go
Take
from
it
there.
from there.
From there, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Do you have anything else to add, Jeff?
No. This is the first time any of my clients have interviewed me to be on a vlog. And by the way, I love your vlog. I'll see it. It comes through. I get notified of it, and it's really cool what you're doing. So keep it up.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we're trying to get in there and be good. So yeah,
Listen,
but thank you so much.
I'm in the same boat. Like you go through waves, and all of a sudden I haven't made anything in like, I don't know, a month and a half, but I have some things scheduled. So more content will start coming out soon.
Looking forward to it.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jeff. So that's all for today, guys. But if you do have any questions, like Jeff said, we're going to be leaving his, details in the video. So please do feel free to contact him. And if you have any other questions for us, please feel free to add it in the comment section.
Yeah, sure.
So thank you so much, Jeff. Thank you for
so
taking
much.
the
Thanks
time.
Thank you, guys. All the best. I'll see you soon.
Take care.
Okay?
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Jeff.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that interview and it answered some of the questions you may have about buying a home. As always, if you have any questions about real estate, always feel free to call or email me. I'm Jeff O'Leary, the Village Guru. Have yourself a great day.